Hi, my name is Marcia Booker. I am here today with Ruth and with Liz. I'm in Monroe, Connecticut at a sew-a-thon, and Ruth and Liz are going to tell us about their involvement with it. Welcome, it's really nice to have you here today.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about this project and the sew-a-thons that you're both involved in.
Well, the organization is Dress a Girl Around the World, and there are chapters all over the world, all over this country. There's 3 ambassadors in this state. I'm one of them. I cover southern Connecticut. There's 2 more up in the Hartford and South Windsor area. But they're in almost every state in the United States, as well as other countries as well. So we're a chapter among the organization.
Mm-hmm.
And we make dresses for girls all around the world. As an ambassador for the organization, I am responsible for getting the dresses made, as well as finding distribution for them to various countries or girls that are in need. And I've been working with Sacred Heart University's nursing program, who goes on medical mission trips to various countries. They've gone to Guatemala, Vietnam, Haiti, Mexico, and Uganda so far. And they're always going on medical mission trips, and I believe there's a trip to India this summer.
Okay, we can pick that up.
So they're a big part of what we do. If we didn't have them to deliver the dresses, they'd be sitting, and I'm always looking for new distribution outlets, whether it's a church going on a mission trip or another medical school or nursing school. We are open to providing dresses to whoever needs them, as long as they can get them to the girls in need and that are at
So it
risk.
doesn't make any difference geographically in the world where they are,
No,
as long as there's a need for them.
exactly.
And how did you get involved in this project?
Through Liz.
Through Liz,
Yeah.
okay?
She lives up the street from me, and she asked me if I would be interested, and I said sure, and I've been with her since.
So you're kind of like the assistant ambassador to Liz?
I guess
With
so.
all the stuff that
Frick
you
and
do?
frick and frack.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's wonderful. How did this organization get going initially?
This is it's actually a organization under Hope for Women, which was started by Rachel Cinder Egham, and that was started in 2006. And then Dress a Girl began in, well, we're having our 10th anniversary this year, so it had to be 2009. The Dress a Girl was formed underneath it because they saw a need for girls, particularly because they're not always treated as well around the world as we are here. So I went to my first sew-a-thon up in Maine with my sister. I was visiting, and I just had such a great time working with other women, enjoying their company, that I wanted to do some here, and that got me started.
They used to have a program that I was involved in at one point when we made dresses out of pillowcases.
Mhm.
Is this kind of an outgrowth of that?
This is definitely outgrowth of that. What happened is they were trying to get away from the pillowcase because people were donating worn-out pillowcases that you could see through, and they really weren't proper for a dress that's going to give a girl dignity.
Mm-hmm.
So we've evolved it, and we've gotten so many fabric donations from people in the area, whether they're cleaning out, a parent's house after their demise, or
Just downsizing.
downsizing, or they used to sew, or they thought they'd take up sewing but never did it, followed through on it. We've gotten almost all the fabric we have has been donated.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yes, it's the people are tremendously generous here.
Now, do you, at a sew-a-thon like this, if there was someone that read about a sew-a-thon and they weren't particularly interested in sewing themselves, but if they had a catch of fabric, or if they had thread, or if they had zigzag, notions and like rickrack and
Yes.
that type of thing, could they bring it to one of your sew-a-thons?
Absolutely. We prefer cotton, 100% cotton, but we do work with cotton poly also. I've had people donate actually upholstery fabric, and from that we branched out and started making little backpacks that the kids can take and put their things in. So this was upholstery fabric that was donated, and these are just very simple rucksack, backpack, whatever you want to call it. It's lined. and they can take their school things or whatever they need in them. So we kind of branched into that. We did some fabrics we might not be appropriate for a dress or too thin. We started making these little dolls.
Oh, they're so cute.
Another neighbor down the street, it seems to be a block thing almost, but it certainly has expanded, has painted, she used to teach art, and she painted the faces on these and started making them and showing us, and we had so much fabric, we didn't want anything to go to waste, so we took the pieces that were too small for pockets and we can make them into a little dress, just like the sundresses that we make for these little dolls.
When I was looking at the dolls, I was thinking, who painstakingly takes a magic marker and does that? So what does she do? Just have like a big piece of fabric with all these dolls printed on it?
Well,
No.
Ruth can talk to that, because
Okay.
she does a lot with the dolls.
I cut out the dolls,
Okay,
and then I pass them to somebody else that paints them.
I see,
And
okay.
then that person passes them to somebody else that sews them and stuffs them. Actually, it's a mother and daughter that do a lot of the stuffing and sewing.
So this is really a little tiny project that could be done at home.
Yes.
It wouldn't have to be done
Absolutely.
necessarily on a day
Correct.
that you had a sew-a-thon.
Yep.
The thing that I love about this little doll, and I don't know if you can really see it here, is that one side is sleeping and the other side is wide awake and smiling, and even a little bow in the hair. That is just so, it is just so simple.
We've gotten tremendous feedback. I was a little hesitant to start branching out because I felt like it would take away from the dresses, but through Sacred Heart, and they took some of these down, and the kids just were so grateful.
This is Sacred Heart University.
Sacred Heart University on their medical mission trips, they took some. We used to put just regular little Beanie Baby toys, the miniature ones, so it's not too heavy because you don't want to increase the weight for their carry-ons. But they took these and they said the kids were just elated. They saw the little dolls with the two faces and they were so happy.
It's probably one of the few toys that has ever been new that has been given to them,
Right.
which makes it all the more special. Tell me about the cards. You have these little cards. Would you just kind of tell us about this?
Well, these are cards that you put in the dress. They're put in by the person that made it, and this way the little girl knows that it was made with love.
Oh, this is especially for you with a date on it.
Right.
They must treasure those.
Yes.
You know?
Absolutely. We got feedback from the Sacred Heart University, my contact there, and she said, you know, if you put these notes in, they would really keep those forever. So we've got it printed in 3 different, it's English, Haitian, and then also in Spanish, and they can read it no matter what language. We're working on Vietnamese in there, but I had too many translations when I looked it up on the internet. I wanted to be sure it was right.
Okay.
So we haven't put that on yet, but we'll add that to it as we increase the number of countries that we're going to.
My understanding is that you have no corporate sponsorship. This is totally a volunteer, humanitarian effort and project.
Yes.
And how many people will we have at a sew-a-thon? I know that this room is set up for a certain number.
It varies. I've had as few as 15, but I've had over 40 as well. I believe we're going to have about 30 to 35.
Okay.
I try and prepare extra, whether it's a lunch or seating, so that if people do drop in, I don't like to say no, so because I always encourage people to sew.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about what is going to happen when I, as a sewer, arrive here tomorrow. I will come in and...
All the tables are set up with multi-plugs, so they'll pick a table out. Some people like to sit with friends. There's new people, I encourage them to sit with a seasoned sewer, someone who's been doing it for a while. And that way they'll have kind of a coach along with them. And they get set up. We have dress kits made, so everything's been cut out pretty much. The pockets might need a little trimming, but all the parts are there. They can pick, we have several style of dresses that they can make. So we have t-shirt dresses and what we call a fat quarter dress available in kits, and they'll pick one out that they happen to like the fabric, and they can start sewing it. The instructions are with it, plus they're gonna have their coach at their table to help them through it if they get stuck. There's a lot of repeat people come, so we've got many experienced people that can help a beginner.
How many people do you think have gone through and participated in this program since you've both been involved in it? How would you guesstimate?
I have a mailing list of 150 people. Not all of them come all the time. Some of them only sew at home, and then they'll come and drop the dresses off. I've had people mail me dresses. I don't know where they were from, but they mailed them into me, and it's kind of a nice surprise when you get this package of dresses in the mail. But I mean, I have people coming, we're in Monroe, they're coming from Westchester, New York, and they come regularly.
Wow.
I've got one girl up in the Hartford area. She comes down here because every ambassador is different. The ones up there, they do stuff in their homes with small groups. I kind of like the camaraderie that we have when we have a big sew-a-thon. It just is a lot of fun. I've heard some of our older participants say that it's a nice social outing for them.
And the food is good too.
It's what?
The food is good too.
Oh, you feed us too?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Food's a big motivator.
Oh, hey, in any format it is, yes. Well, I think that's actually wonderful. How often do you find an ambassador, not an ambassador, but someone who can carry the dresses to one of the sites?
Well, I've been working with Sacred Heart for 3 years. I am always looking for new ambassadors. I just met a woman who's involved. She's got an international nonprofit organization. Her husband's from Haiti, so her effort is to help the very, very poor people of Haiti.
Okay.
And I just gave her 100 dresses. Unfortunately, there's a lot of unrest down there now, and the flight was canceled, but she's hoping to get there in April, the beginning of April.
All right, is this a way that people who are in our audience, if they travel to Haiti, is there a place in Haiti or Puerto Rico or the Dominican Republic, wherever it is that you go, where they could actually bring them?
I think probably it'd be better to be in touch with an organization in advance.
Okay.
So if they're going to a community, they could contact the church and say, I'm coming, I would like to bring something for your church community. The pastor then could say, well, we have X amount of children that really need a new dress, a new pair of shorts, shoes, whatever it might be, and they may say it's something other than a dress, but it would be best because then it can be regulated and controlled down there versus just looking for someone. They could end up, the dresses may get sold.
Okay, all right.
You have to be careful that way. I mean, we did a mission to Uganda, to an orphanage there. There were 94 children. I got all the ages so I could kind of approximate the sizes. And we made 94 dresses to send them in the sizes we thought. 49 of them got there.
Okay, all right.
It happens, and it's heartbreaking, but somebody needed those for something, and
But the 49 little girls are just probably still smiling.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. But is that part of, I mean, I know that we have some pictures that we are going to put into this broadcast of the expressions on the children's faces.
It is so rewarding. That is what pushed me over the edge to become an ambassador, is seeing, I saw a girl with a dress I made on it, and it just was everything. And my biggest fear is finding distribution, because it's hard. And I mean, there's a lot of churches in this area. I've had people say, oh, I know someone like this. I've contacted people, and a lot of it never comes through. So I'm out actively recruiting distribution for churches going on missions, medical missions. If they think they can deliver the dresses, and I would think if you're giving out vaccinations, it'd be kind of nice to hand them a dress after that.
Right, exactly.
Put a smile on their face.
In looking at some of the things that you've made, I see really tiny dresses for children. What age do you start?
We do infant right up to about a size 16.
Okay, so that could be 10 or 12 years old, depending upon the size of the young woman. All right. Is there any reason that it's just dresses?
Well, it's Dress a Girl around the world.
Yeah.
We do take on special projects. This Sacred Heart University is going to India this summer, and she asked if there was a little preschool, and she said they're boys, and can you make shorts? So we are embarking on a little shorts project. It's not, widespread, but I just couldn't see denying the little boys when the little girls are all getting a new dress. So we'll do that. It's a small scale. We're going to make about 50 pairs, so it's not too bad.
Okay.
Get those done pretty quick.
All right, and is there a particular reason that you like the 100% cotton?
Because of washing conditions, you don't know them probably.
They sure don't have appendix, do they?
Yeah, it could be in a river, it could be on a rock, so that's why when we're sewing these, everything has to be reinforced, no exposed edges, everything is a closed seam. We do a French seam or serge it, and so that everything is very secure and tight.
How do you get all of the sewing machines that you need, like in a sew-a-thon?
Most people bring theirs. We have had donations, and we get them serviced and bring a couple extra in case people don't want to carry theirs.
But when you set up something like this, you have to carry everything into the setup. So
Correct.
you have big cars, and so if you have to bring in 6 sewing machines, then you got a level of that. Is that correct?
I have a handy wagon.
Okay.
That I
And
take
a strong
everywhere.
back.
Yes, a
Right.
handy wagon and a strong back, and people are really nice. If we set it up in advance so that we're ready to go and not a hot sweaty mess in the morning of the sew-a-thon. You want to be happy and greeting people, and so it's just easier to set it up in advance so you're prepared and you do a checklist, make sure you have everything you need.
Good. Is there anything else that you would like our viewing audience to know about either your involvement or the satisfaction you get, the repeat people who come back, a message of some kind that you would like to share with the viewing audience?
I just have fun doing it.
Yeah, I like coming here too.
And
It's just fun.
We've met so many nice people.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a great way to make friends.
That's wonderful.
And everybody has a good time, or I don't think they'd be coming back.
That's true. I heard a rumor that the food was good too, so. And I think as long as there's a good cup of coffee or tea in the morning when people arrive, that works too. Well, I'm really glad that we had this time to talk, and I look forward to talking with some of the women when I see them tomorrow. So I thank you very much for your time, but mostly I thank you for the work that you do, because I think it's absolutely wonderful.
Well, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Every girl deserves at least one new dress.
Dress a Girl Around the World is a campaign under Hope for Women International. Since its inception, its purpose has been to bring dignity to women around the world. Since 2006, Hope for Women has been a non-denominational independent Christian organization founded by Rachel Egham Sinider. In October of 2009, Dress a Girl Around the World was created. Since that time, it has delivered over 1 million dresses to 81 countries throughout the world. Women like these throughout the United States and other parts of the world get together and make dresses. These particular women did these dresses at home and brought them to a gathering here in Monroe, Connecticut in March. There are different style dresses. These colorful dresses are larger sizes that were made because the sewer had larger pieces of material. The green dress that she's showing you right now, she told us was her favorite. These women are working together. They have created friendships and working relationships and share their skills and their creativity. The lady to your right is cutting out dolls. These dolls will be then sent to someone's home, sewn together, have the faces printed on them, either smiley or sleeping, and be dressed and stuffed, ready for the next session. This is one of 2 boxes of dolls that was donated. Each box contains 50 dolls, who each have a different ribbon in their hair and a different dress. But the styles of the dresses are similar to those that will be given to the little girls. This woman is turning a pocket inside out. It has been made with 2 pieces of fabric so that it is strong. It will be applied to the front of a dress. Here we see pockets being put to the front of the dress. They're being pinned in place after they've been measured so that they are the correct distance from the hem. They are then sewed onto the dress with reinforced stitching. The fabrics chosen are strictly the creativity and the choice of the person sewing the dresses. There is great variety with many colorful things. Notice that this dress is the same fabric but has 2 different colors. Ironing for any sewing project is important. This person is creating a tube into which the drawstring will be inserted so that the top of the rucksack can be drawn closed. There's an assembly line for getting the dresses all packaged. First, they are measured for the length so that the size can be determined. Because there are different styles, the style is also indicated, and then it is passed on to the women who package them. Depending upon the size, they include a pair of underwear and some kind of a doll. It could be a little stuffed toy that someone has donated, or it could be one of the dolls that were made specifically for this project. Each dress is carefully folded and put into a plastic bag. The air is sucked out of it for the most part, and it is sealed. There are approximately 6 or 7 people involved in this assembly line. You're one of the few men here. What is your special job here?
I just like helping out. It's great fun for me, and I enjoy myself.
So do they give you the same job all the time, or do you just pitch in where you can?
Usually, I wind up at the end of the line, squeezing the air out of the bags, and then keeping a tally of what size dress they are.
Okay.
And then putting them in the appropriate basket. Okay.
Whether it was you who have to carry it out.
Yeah.
Paul, we've been going for about 2 hours. What's the count now?
It's just over 100.
Wow, incredible. Imagine never having had a dress and having one of these beautiful creatures be handed to you with an adorable little doll in its pocket and a pair of underwear that no one else has ever worn.
This is my 3rd time, so I'm pretty new, but I love the sew.
And how many dresses do you think you've made totally?
I think I made probably 20 so far. But one other lady started. One lady came and she made 41 dresses. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Incredible. It's a great thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Thank you. This volunteer just finished her dress. Look at the expression on her face as she dances over to present it to be sized. Let's take a few minutes to just spend some time looking at the dresses on the little girls. This lady proudly shows off a pillow that was made using some of the dolls. The total number of dresses for the day, 190. Fantastic.